Welcome everyone to the press conference of the game of Promitheas Patras Vikos versus Galatasaray. A victory for the visiting home side. So we have with us the head coach of Galatasaray, Mr. 𝗪𝗘𝗟𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘, and from the player side we have Mr. 𝗪𝗘𝗟𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘 with us. So we'll start with the player first. So we can let you go back to the locker room and get washed up, and then we'll talk to your coach. So a couple of things. First of all, that was one of the most hectic games in recent memory. Of course, when you're on the court, it's way different. The balance and the speed of the game from how a spectator might see it. So let's start with the first question, which is how do you see the game progress, maybe from the jitters of the first quarter all the way to this hectic fourth quarter? How do you view it from the bench and on the court?
Yeah, I think being on the court, it was a real physical game. You know, the ref let the players be physical on both sides. I think it was pretty even, and I think my team, we played well for the most part. I think we need to get better and learn how to have that killer mentality when we have a lead. 8-10 points to either keep the lead or increase it. But the season is still early, and that's something that you learn through games and experience. So I'm happy we, came, on the road and got a win. It's always a good feeling, whether it's by 1 point or 30. A win is a win, and Promitheas is a tough team, and it's great to get a win here.
Yeah, you've had more than a couple of games already in the first part of this season for the BCL. Now that you have a good idea of your team, obviously domestically and in the European League, what do you think are your capabilities of reaching the Final Four of the BCL? Is that something that's logical to see right now because you're ahead of our bracket, let's say?
Yeah, I think it is logical. I'm a person and a player that doesn't like to think too far ahead. That's going to be in the springtime, April, around there, and it's about to be November, so it's a long ways away. The season is a process. It's a long process, ups and downs. So that's going to be there. We just have to take care of this first stage, and each game is important. Each practice, I think we have the capabilities. It's about staying healthy and listening to the coaches that we have on staff and executing the game plans that they come up with. They work really hard to come up with game plans, and it's our job to go out on the court and perform. So I think it's real logical to think that we can go far in this league.
Yeah. Allow me one last question. I always like to look behind the curtains through the eyes of a player. Mm-hmm. So indulge me. What do you think personally was today a factor, like maybe a statistic that isn't written on a piece of paper, maybe something we don't see? We always look at statistics as, okay, rebounds, deflections and stuff like that. What was for you like that X factor that we never saw on a piece of paper that gave you the win today?
Oh, I think just I think poise. I think even though we did lose the lead and it got close, Walker hit some threes that brought the lead down, but we didn't fold. We didn't lose the game. We hit some free throws at the end. James Palmer got a big block. We got some rebounds when we needed to. And, it's always better to learn from a game where you win and it's kind of ugly and you make a lot of mistakes and rather from a loss. So, we feel good and we feel like we can improve a lot. We don't want to be at our peak right now. We don't want to be at our highest level. We want to keep steadily climbing and climbing. So, but yeah, just I think poise, and calmness in the last minute.
I expected as an answer. Thank you for
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And I apologize for the line in the circle. A line that left. No, I didn't do that. But I apologize for the team.
No, you gotta know what it was. I don't even want to fall and slip on. Thank God.
You're welcome. Coach, the floor is yours. Obviously from the sideline, now you had a lot of games in the BCL and domestically in your league in Turkey. What was today a nice image? Did you see the team really coming together and playing exactly as you envisioned it in the beginning of the season?
Mm-hmm. Some parts we are playing as we planned, as we visualized at the preseason, but some parts we go down and we make easy mistakes especially our guards, easy turnovers that allows our opponent to come back in the game or sometimes beat us. Today, that's example that today's game was an example to this. So a couple of times we had chance to break the game, like Otis said, but after even good defense, our opponent, Promitheas Patras, played really aggressive defense, forced us to turnovers, and with the fast break points after our turnovers, they come back to the game. And also, we shouldn't allow one player getting hot and scoring 3-4 times in a row. We should, that's a one-on-one challenge on the court. Walker did great job last quarter, last 5 minutes, bringing his team back from 15 points to up 1. We had to stop that. We have this problem that happened also in previous games. But today, we found a way to score and we found a way to win, and that made us happy and satisfied for the result.
Okay. And again, the same question as I asked your player. Do you see Galatasaray really pushing ahead during this long BCL season and domestic season? Obviously, you have one of the best leagues in all of Europe in Turkey. Do you see you reaching the Final Four? And what will it take for the team to reach the Final Four? Is it a deep bench? Is it injuries? Is it chemistry? Or is it hitting that peak at the right time?
Yes, I see ourselves, I see my team in Final Four. And this is what I am emphasizing to my players. You have to believe in this dream, believe in this goal, and then everything else is small steps, like pre-goals, previous goals, until you go to your main target. Also, this game was one of those. We didn't give up and we beat. And our next goal is to finish first round in first position. We lost a home court game. We have to compensate this. We're going to go Nürnberg to play road game in Prague. We have to win and get the point deficit. That's going to be our first goal on the way of Final Four. And of course, not only one single detail is going to get you to Final Four. Everything. So team chemistry, defense, team defense, rebounds, not making simple mistakes, playing it at a certain level for 30-35 minutes a game. You can play 40 minutes great basketball, but we are now, I have to say, 20-25 minutes, something like that. But other 15 to 20 minutes, we go down and we allow opponents to execute whatever they want to do on the court. We have to increase this minute range to 30-35 minutes. Then I believe everything is going to be easy. And of course, as you mentioned, staying healthy is important. We are lucky. We have a great medical staff, but we have to prevent also injuries. We have to take care of ourselves. We are living in a big city, Istanbul. We always give comments to our players to pay attention to their personal life. Rest well, feed yourself well. It's a long process, and every day is important. Every day is important. This is our mentality. Day by day, we will try to step up the obstacles, and we will hopefully reach our goal.
Coach, that was a better answer than what I expected. Thank you very much for letting us look behind the curtain of a coach. Thank you very much. We don't have any more questions.
Thank you very much for the questions. Thank you.
Okay, so welcome again back to the press conference. Now for the home side of Promitheas 𝗪𝗘𝗠𝗘, we have Mr. Hernandez from the player side and Mr. 𝗪𝗘𝗪𝗠𝗘, head coach. We'll start with the players, so we can let you go back to the locker room and we'll talk to your coach. Mr. Hernandez, this was your first full game as a new player of Promitheas. You played some heavy minutes today. Give us a peek behind the curtain of a player. How was it for you? You are obviously ready, but how did you see the game unfold from the first quarter all the way to that hectic fourth quarter? So just give us an overview, a preview of all the game. How did you see it, and how did you see yourself fitting in with the team? And if you can, just a bit closer to the microphone.
Yep, so this is like my first full game in 18 months. So this whole week, coach been on me since last game, just picking up the intensity in practice, helping me treat practice like a game to help me prepare for this game today. So kudos to him. But as the game went on, basketball is a game of runs. No matter if we go up 20 or go down 20, it's a game of runs. It's just not like one team is going to stop scoring and we're going to start scoring a bunch. But we was there, we kept fighting through the end. Coach told us before the game and at halftime, he was like, no matter what this outcome may be, just make sure we keep fighting the whole game. Like I said, we was battling, we got down 15, 16, whatever, but we kept playing defense. We got back to playing defense, got in a lot of steals, got in the passing lanes, a lot of hard hedges, got out in transition, made a bunch of shots. Shout out to Jordan, he made a lot of threes to get us back in the game. It's just a hard-fought loss right here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going to make a NFL football analogy here, and correct me if I'm wrong. I felt that, and tell me if you agree with the sense that you guys worked defensively to turn that -16, it turned defensively. So like a defensive linebackers helped Jordan push you forward. Did you see that character in the defense of Promitheas?
Yeah.
Because turning the game around.
Yeah. So at the beginning of this week's practice, coach showed us film how aggressive other teams were. He said, this is what we need to be like. And we went out there and did that.
Yeah. And then give us, I asked the same thing from the Galatasaray team. You know, very often we look at stats, and we look at rebounds, we look at scoring. Give me one thing that it can never be written down in a score stat that you saw your team do today. You would never see it written on a piece of paper. Tell me something that you saw that you can keep as a team going forward.
Effort, just how hard guys was playing, like not trying to give up guys open shots. No matter, say one guy gets beat out the picture, another guy got to step up, making that, like for example, I don't mean to shout out myself, but I hard hedge on the pick and rolls. I have to go from basically behind everybody and hustle back to get to the rim to go block the shot. I got a stat for it, but plays like those hustle plays are definitely things that don't show up on the score, the stat sheet, but those are the type plays.
And that's basically a character that you keep and maintain during the season. Thank you very much. We don't have any more questions, so we go back to the
Thank you, guys. Yes, probably.
Coach 𝗪𝗘𝗪𝗠𝗘, the floor is yours. It seemed from the beginning of the game that scoring was a big issue, but also it was a physical game that the refs allowed. How did you see the game progress defensively and intensively, the intensity of the team from the first quarter to the hectic fourth quarter? How did you see it from the sidelines?
So, as first, we must congratulate Galata for this win, but I also have to give big congratulations to our players for their performance today. It was a very hard game on the beginning. We expect a big battle. We knew that before the game, Galata has a very huge roster with a lot of quality players, and we had a target to play over to our limit, especially on defense. We did that for most of the time. We had 16 steals, a lot of hustling plays, And finally, we were back in the last quarter, but unfortunately, we didn't make the win. It's hard for us, but now it's clear the picture, how we must to continue. And because the group is open, the BCL group is open, we have to be positive and to continue.
Okay, last question from my side. We don't do this very often, but allow me to do it. We don't encourage coaches. We always talk about players during these conferences. You did it last year as a coach of Promitheas, and you led the team to the final 8 of the BCL. One of the things that we keep seeing you do as a coach is you get characters to show up in your team. Tell me today, if you can, how do you manage to do that? And what 2 or 3 characters that you see today involved in the game?
Look at the quality team, a successful team without strong character is not possible, you know. We try to build our character. We have a lot of new faces. During the games, during the Greek leagues, with a lot of ups and downs, we have to build our character. Today, we show very big character, as you say, and this is the only way to success. This is one of the main part of, let's say, the success. But we have to continue. It's not enough. It's not enough for us. We must be also more quality on basketball, and we have to finish the job when we force the game in the last minutes.
Okay, thank you
Thank you very much.